to discuss what we might expect from this classic come fall. Jonah Keri, senior writer for CBS Sports, good enough to join us now to preview Game 1. Jonah, it is Leicester v. Kluber. We have seen Leicester on this stage before. He has performed and well, 3-0 with an ERA under a half run per. What are you going to be watching for tonight from these two?
This should be a great matchup. I mean, Leicester is getting a lot of ink, and obviously the Cubs are in general, but don't discount the Indians. I mean, the way that they were able to slice through the best offense in baseball, the Red Sox, and then beat up on the Blue Jays as well is very impressive. Corey Kluber might win the Cy Young this year, and they've got great weapons out of the bullpen, including Andrew Miller, who's as dominant a bullpen force probably since Mariano Rivera, except that the Indians use him even more aggressively. They'll bring him into the 5th, 6th, 7th. You might see him for 2 innings or even more. So the Cubs, listen, you look at it and you go kind of piece by piece, and you can say that the Cubs win most of the matchups. But it's not like the Indians are pushovers. They can easily win this series. They have some pieces that are very impressive as well.
You mentioned Andrew Miller, and the way he is used, save situations are really no longer. It's just when Terry Francona decides, I need to extend this game and give my offense a time to heat up. If we look then at what Andrew Miller can do for this bullpen, and then you look across at Chicago's pen, arguably as good, certainly with a lights-out closer. Is there a definitive edge you see there?
Well, I do think that that ability to use leverage, I mean, it warms my nerd heart, first of all. We've only been yelling about this stuff for 20 years, people like me who study baseball statistics. The ability to use your best guy in the biggest situation is huge. And so even if you think that the Cubs personnel is roughly as good as Cleveland's, Terry Francona being willing to use Miller, let's say the bases are loaded and Anthony Rizzo's coming up in the 5th inning in a tie game. If Miller induces the double play or gets a strikeout or whatever there, goes on to pitch the 6th and 7th, that gives the Indians time to tack on and maybe take the lead. And then you've got a relatively easier situation. This idea that there's a closer mentality that you can only pitch the 9th inning, it's nonsense. It's made up. This didn't exist before. The save rule only started in 1960. If you could just get your best guys in the best situations, that's key. We saw it last series, too. The Dodgers were bringing in Kenley Jansen early in the game. Yeah. Clayton Kershaw got a save, so that flexibility is great. Let's
not go to. The wound is still fresh, Jonah. I do appreciate that, though. And look, you know, to that point as well, we saw the impact that Dave Roberts had in that series, one of the bright young managers in the game. And so here we are, arguably the 2 finest managers in the game, and Joe Maddon and Terry Francona. Is there, it seems really, if nothing else, we've got 2 of the best clubs in baseball, if only because I feel like even here we're splitting hairs.
Oh, we could put Bruce Bochy's seat at the table, too, but I would say that those 3 would be the guys. And, yeah, no, certainly you look at both of their skill managerially. And, of course, don't discount the most important role of a manager, which, despite the fact that I'm an analytics guy, I would tell you is managing a clubhouse. It's managing the highs and the lows. And, you know, the Cubs came in with great expectations. It's 108 years since they won the World Series. There's a lot of pressure. Conversely, Cleveland has had all kinds of injuries. You know, their starting rotation really took a big hit. And here they are. They've been able to manage an impressive feat themselves. So, yeah, both of these guys have both, right? They really know how to read the room and keep guys on an even keel, but they also recognize how to really manage the in-game tactics. It's impressive, and Francona's already pretty much punched his ticket to the Hall of Fame, I would say, as a manager, and Joe Maddon could be on his way.
So if the Dodgers then provided destiny with the sacrifice to get the Cubs at least to the brink here, perhaps ending almost 11 decades of futility on the grandest stage, it almost seems like Cleveland can't catch a break, having suffered without a World Series title for 68 years of their own. I leave it to you, my favorite baseball geek. Pick me a winner, Bobby.
Well, I am going to take the Cubs in 6, and I'm a notorious jinx, so you can take that with a grain of salt. Sports Illustrated cover has nothing on me, but, you know, you look at the matchups here, and, you know, it really does favor the Cubs in most respects, except maybe for that bullpen and possibly base running, where the Indians are very good, too. But the Cubs have the hitters, the Cubs have the pitchers. They match up very well. But it is a close series, and, you know, we talk about small sample sizes. Geeks like me talk about that. 162 games, I would tell you that the Cubs are going to have a better record. Things can happen in a 7-game series, so I'm hedging. I'm giving you Cubs. But I'm saying if the Indians win, don't come to me and complain that you gambled away your kid's college fund, because that wasn't my fault.
All right, so then you're going to say Chicago gets it done, but they're going to get it done on enemy soil, on enemy territory. It's going back to Cleveland at least.
I do see that happening. I think Corey Kluber could win games 1 and 5, and the Cubs might win the games in between, ultimately setting up a Game 6 situation where defending Cy Young winner Jake Arrieta could emerge as the guy.
Look at you. Geek chic, Jonah Keri. Geek chic. That's exactly what it is. We appreciate the time, and I hope to visit again with you through what should be a magical run, at least for one of them.
Would love that, Josh. Thank you.